This is going to be a video on installing the B-Rad 3 on my drop bar adventure bike or gravel bike. And a lot of the videos I've seen on YouTube are only based on mountain bikes, but I'm going to install this so that I can carry more water on my trips. Okay, so what you get with the B-Rad 3 is 3 long screws, 2 short screws to attach an accessory or bottle cage, 2 Delron or plastic spacers that I assume work with the short screws since there's only 2 of them. The zip tie and the foam are used to secure the B-Rad when it's fully extended so it doesn't act like a diving board and scratch your frame. The advantage of this system is it allows you to shift the position of the water bottle and also add an additional accessory if you so wish. In my particular situation, I am just trying to lower the water bottle to work with a half frame bag. So another thing we have to take into consideration is the bottle cage that we're going to use. Now the one on the left here is what I would call your standard bottle cage, where the bottle cage just pulls straight out from the center or the top. The set in the middle is a left and right exit from the side, and the ones on the top there on the right are a right-right exit. You can also get a left-left exit. Now this is a 58 size frame. Here's the position of the bottle cages on the bike as it came from the factory. Obviously if it's a smaller bike you're going to have a smaller triangle. So now I've installed my custom Rogue Panda half frame bag, and as you can see I need to lower the water bottle cage. So what the B-Rad is going to let us do is going to let us drop the water bottle cage on the seat tube down as low as we can. And it's quite a bit. I want to say it's probably 3-4 inches. When I bought my Rogue Panda bag, they give you the option of buying this bottle cage adjuster. And this is basically doing the same thing that the Wolf Tooth does, although it's a little bit more restrictive since it doesn't have the slots in it. And in my situation, it doesn't quite get the bottle low enough, so that's why I opted for the Wolf Tooth. So something I've learned, interestingly enough, while putting these bottle cages on, some of them have different heights. As you can see, the one on your left is lower than the one on the right. I was running this one here in conjunction with the Rogue Panda offset that they sent me. What happened was I was using an older style podium, and because that bag would have been a little bit higher, you can see here that it was kind of a pain that, I'd have to go like this to get my water bottle in and out. And that's really why I bought the B-Rad 3, to get this clearance here. So I have my long bolt, and then I have the spacer I've installed on the slider. Okay, second bolt and the spacer on the inside to raise it up from the frame. So here are my bottle cages that I'm going to use. Even though they're left and right, depends on which tube you put it on. If you put this one, which exits to the right on the down tube, but when you put it on the seat tube, it exits to the left. Because of the chain ring, I'm going to have this bottle so low, I'm going to have a left exit. We'll just tack this in, and then we'll end up getting our bottle, putting it in before we tighten everything down. Wow, it's just at the bottom of the brad. In other words, I can't slide it up anymore on this one, which is perfect, I think. Okay, there's the B-Rad 3 installed on the seat tube with the appropriate bottle cage. It is just barely clearing that seat tube down there. And as you can see there, I have clearance here, which was my goal. So here are the water bottles I generally use on my tour. The one on the right is a Camelback Podium, which is 24 ounces, which I believe is pretty much the same size as your generic bike store water bottle. The one on the left is a 1 liter bottle, which I run on my down tube. I run 2 of them, and I'll show you that in a moment. I made a whole video about how I mounted that. In terms of my touring setup, just imagine another 1 liter bottle on the other side opposite the one that's already there. This podium bottle there, and I generally carry my tools down there on the bottom. I don't use this setup in my everyday ride. I'll just run a single bottle cage there on the down tube, and I generally don't carry my tools down there. This setup is really only for my tour and trying to make the most out of the triangle. So I'm able to carry 4 liters within my triangle if I wanted to. I'd have to move my tools, but let's see, one fits here like that. Obviously one here, like I said. Another one on the other side. And I've never really had any problem with these bottles falling out. The only thing you have to be aware of when they're empty, you want to make sure that they're full of air. I generally blow them up, as ridiculous as that sounds. If the cap's loose, they'll tend to compress and then they can fall out. But what I'm trying to get at here is I could comfortably carry 4 liters in this setup. And even though I'm around water, it comes in handy to fill up with as much water as you can, because you don't have to worry about trying to stop somewhere and get water. You just have enough for cooking and stuff when you get to camp. I always find it kind of a pain when we get to camp and we don't have enough water, or you got to stop and get water before you get to camp because you haven't gotten any through the course of the day. But yeah, so there you go. That's my setup.